After years of fighting for a change in the law that she believes could have saved her son, Fiona Laskaris and the MPs who are backing her, including Jeremy Hunt, the former Health Secretary, arrived in Westminster to finally meet the minister who could make it happen.
The law as it stands didn't enable me to save my son's life, even though I've been asking for a proper mental capacity assessment. There was no mechanism for me to do that. So we want to change that. We've got a good amendment lined up, and I think it would probably work, and I really, really hope the government will support this, getting this amendment through, so that no one else has to go through what we have.
Fiona's vulnerable autistic son, Christopher, was murdered, aged 24, by a convicted criminal who was exploiting him. Fiona had been repeatedly dismissed when she tried to get him a mental capacity assessment, which establishes whether someone has the ability to make their own decisions safely. After the meeting today, the Care Minister told us the government would indeed now consider amending mental health legislation currently going through Parliament.
Fiona clearly is asking for the law to be changed so that families' views are taken into account when deciding whether to give a relative a capacity assessment. Are you able to give her that reassurance that the law will be changed?
Mrs. Laskaris has absolutely made her points. We absolutely see where she's coming from. Officials will be now taking forward those discussions in greater detail. Mrs. Laskaris has proposed an amendment to the bill. We will absolutely be examining that in greater detail.
Since we aired Fiona's story, we've been contacted by other families also battling to get mental capacity assessments. Paveen told me her autistic son has now been sectioned after deteriorating for years because the authorities judged he had the capacity to decide that he didn't need help.
They were assuming he's got capacity and therefore it's his reasoned decision. If he doesn't want help, he doesn't want support, that's fine by us. Even though I was providing evidence that that's not the case, he's not well, he doesn't understand the consequences of this, there's no way on earth that he would just lie in bed night and day like this, deteriorating of his own choice. I genuinely believe that he would die because he was just being left for months at a time with no support.
How did you feel when you saw Fiona's story, when we aired Fiona's story?
Oh, I just cried uncontrollably because every quote I read, it was almost like I was telling our story. Those very same things about being dismissed as an over-fussy parent, stop interfering, he's an adult, he can make his own decisions. And I thought, there are other people like us, this tragedy has happened, you know. Services could have stopped this happening. Fiona had raised this time and time again, like I have over 12 years for my son. He's a vulnerable young man.
After the meeting, Fiona and Chris Coughlan, one of a cross-party group of MPs who are supporting her, were daring to hope.
It would just mean so much, yes, to know that other people wouldn't have to go through this.
We feel we need to see it in legislation because only then will lives be saved, and frankly, you know, Fiona's family, I hope you could then finally start the grieving process and feel that you know, some small piece of hope would come out of what happened.
Do you get a feeling that you're finally being listened to?
That in itself is just incredibly cathartic for me, yes. Just being listened to. Shouldn't be like that though. It shouldn't take 8 years and an ITV crew to just get what's in the Care Act. Clearly everyone's in agreement that the status quo is not okay. So I'm really hopeful that this terrible thing that happened to Christopher can bring about something positive ultimately.
Well, Romilly, Fiona Laskaris, she's remarkable, isn't she, how she's fought for this, and this does look like progress at last.
Yes, this does feel like a big moment. You could hear the cautious optimism in Fiona's voice there, and it has been a very, very long road for her. And the government has moved from initially saying that they would look at changing the guidance, which for the families isn't enough because there's already a code of practice that's being ignored, to actually saying today for the first time, yes, we will look at changing the law. And there is mental health legislation going through Parliament right now for the first time in decades. So this really could be a golden opportunity to secure change. When we started investigating this, Mary, we had no idea how many families would be affected by this, because it is very difficult to quantify something that is not happening. But we have since been contacted, been spoken to many families, like Parveen in the report there, who are saying, this is happening to us too. This is what's happening to my family. And whether it is a family with an autistic relative who is being financially exploited, or families with daughters who are being sexually taken advantage of, what getting a capacity assessment would mean for them would be in those specific areas of their life, they would be getting care and protection. Fiona has been promised another meeting in 5 days with the Care Minister, and it's at that point when we should hear whether there really will be this longed-for change.
Romilly, thank you.